Like many in the harness racing industry, Robbie and KerryAnn Morris became involved in the sport through family. They've built a successful business out of their Menangle base, with Robbie doing the majority of the driving while KerryAnn takes care of the training. The hard-working team have had a lot of success over the years, with Robbie driving 8 Group 1 winners and KerryAnn training 3. And it was in last year's TAB Regional Championships that they both added another Group 1 to their tally on consecutive nights. Spending a vast majority of their lives on racetracks, it's no real surprise that's where they first met.
Quite young, I guess, and just going to race meetings all the time, and Robert just being annoying like he is. Kept just wearing me down, I guess, but...
The boy said I couldn't do it. I said I can. Said I can.
And it just kind of kicked off from there. We're kind of in each other's face, kind of.
You're getting us on a good day here today.
We're in each other's face pretty much 24/7, but, to be honest, I wouldn't have it any other way. We kind of bounce off each other, and Rob will have ideas, I'll have ideas, we won't always agree.
And then she does whatever she wants.
And I usually do whatever I want anyway, but it seemed to work for us so far, so yeah, as I said, I wouldn't have it any other way.
For the pair, family is vital to the success of Lucky Lodge, and it's also vital in helping them manage the day-to-day challenges that racing presents.
Oh, I think it's everything, I actually feel for anyone that tries to come into the industry that doesn't have family behind them, because it's such a demanding job, and that's why you see a lot of people in harness racing, all about it, your partners in harness racing, because it's so hard to find someone out of the industry, because it's just 24/7 harness racing, and we've been both blessed. Our parents have sort of always been ultra supportive, and me and Kerry are extremely lucky that we've got this place here, Mum and Dad's property, to train these horses out of, and it's just, I think family. And I think not only is the job so demanding, but the highs and the lows of it. I know myself, even with our own family now, if I go to the races and have 7 drives, 7 duck eggs, you come home and you see your kids, and, it really puts things into perspective.
The pair were both lucky enough to have a very successful start in their harness racing careers.
It was my first drive, and it was at Leeton. Yeah, and it was on a mare that was probably not much good, but I'd done all my trials on her, and yeah, I don't know how she won, but she happened to win that night.
Yeah, it was JFK for me at Penrith. He won 1 race. That was it. He was owned by a lovely lady, Lynette Philpott owned him. And she still owns horses here with us today, and she owns Zeus Bromac with Fitzpatrick, so she's a really good supporter, and he only ever won the 1 race, but he got it right that night.
They've had a number of highlights in their careers and trained some great horses.
Probably, to be honest, winning the Shirley Turnbull on Aztec Bromac. He was always just a favourite horse of mine, and he'd done a super job for us, and yeah, I just always remember that night, and he was just such a little trier.
Probably the 2 nights that sort of stand out for me is when I was younger, I won 4 races on the 1 card and 2 Group 1s, and then I was lucky enough to do it not that long ago again. So them days have been, obviously, sort of statistics-wise, have been great, but I got to say I really enjoyed Charlevelle's Group 1. It was just with Kerry, it was our first, and he was owned by Daniel Cordina, who's a strong supporter of the stable, so that day holds a place in my heart just because he was sort of ours, yeah.
To run a stable of their size requires a number of staff, and one member of the team who is vital to their success is Josh Gallagher.
Josh he's just like part of the family here, and he has been for some time now. And he's just like one of me or Rob. You can rely on him. He knows what's going on, and he's a great driver in his own right, and he gets up and works them every day, and he knows what's happening. So he's a really vital part of Lucky Lodge.
Josh has followed me around since he was 2, and just watching him grow up, and we've been through quite a bit together, and for him to go out there and do that on a night like that.
It's Expensive Ego. Bonsell Benjamin's closing. Expensive Ego's in front. The heir apparent. Expensive Ego. He wins the grand final.
Go your whole life sometimes, and you try to win races like that, and to see him do it, it wasn't, I say to him now, I still chat him up, he never went past the post first, but to see him do that, everything he's been through, just a credit to himself. He just keeps his head down, and
Oh, what a thrill, eh? This is what we get up for early in the morning.
There's been plenty of times where he could have walked away or it could have got too much for him, but you know, just to see him go out there on a night like that, and I said to Kez, you know, I couldn't have been any prouder.
Last year's Tab Regional Championships were a very successful one for the pair, with Robbie winning the Group 1 Hunter Regional Championships final on the Jeffrey Harding-trained The Choreographer.
But it's the choreographer in front, 150 left to go over Major Bob and then Soho Sinatra. The choreographer has all the right moves tonight and is the Tab Regional Champion for the Hunter.
KerryAnn took the reins the following night at Menangle and won on I Can Run, just 3 weeks after giving birth to daughter Stella.
It's only 12 months ago, but it seems so long ago now. Yeah, I remember, I think Rob went to Queensland or something. I think he might have drove her in. Did you drive her in the heat?
Yes.
Yeah, Rob drove, we used to call her Jackie, I Can Run, in the heat, and she just qualified. Then I had just given birth to Stella. Rob wanted to take a team to Queensland. I was not real happy about it at the time, but he went anyway. And then, yeah, no, we ended up winning the final. She had a really good trip. I think she drew barrier 1, I think. She had a really good trip, and yeah, she happened to win, and it was, yeah, all over from that. So, yeah, no, it was a good ending. I drove Ursula probably 2 weeks after or something, after I had Stella, because I don't know where you were. I think you were in Queensland or...
Yeah, I think I was, because I watched the race.
Yeah.
I come off the track and then I watched the race.
Yeah, so I drove Ursula in the Derby, and she comes second in that, and I don't know, I just felt like I was alright to drive again, so I just jumped back in the gig. Like, it wasn't like I was doing anything special to me, like it was just doing my everyday things, so yeah, no, but it was really good, and it was good, I suppose, publicity for harness racing as well.
The couple's son Archie also loves the races and spends time helping out at the stables.
Yeah, I think he is. We've been at the Champos all weekend and he loved it, and he leads them around constantly, and he's forever doing as much as he can with the horses. Getting him to school's a fairly big struggle now, so I don't know how we're going to go when he's able to do things, but yeah, he loves it. He's got 2 ponies, he works them most afternoons and he enjoys it, so yeah, I think we've got no hope of him not doing it.
What do you reckon, Archie? Do you want to be a driver when you get older?
And what about the future?
Yeah, well, I think, you know, obviously a goal we had a while back was Kerry to win a Trainers Premiership, and she won 2 of them, so you know, that's good, but now we just want to get to the classics now. You know, we want to, you know, I've been lucky enough to drive a number of, you know, Len Smith miles and Newcastle miles and that, but I think for Keza, you know, we sort of like to put ourselves up there in the APGs and the Breeders' Challenges and the 2-year-old classic races, and if we can aim there, hopefully, you know, with the loyal clients that we've got and good clients, hopefully we can get there.